Okay, and I am back with another May I Scraplift You. I am also playing along with the Stretch the Sketch Gals today, and I am going to take this 12 by 12 right there, and I am going to shrink it to an 8 by 6, and this 12 by 12 and who I am scraplifting today is Sandy here on YouTube. She is State Goddess over here on YouTube. And then she is also scrapping reflections on the Facebook groups. So yeah, she has quite a bit going for her. Go Sandy, she's my hero. Anywho, thought that I would give a cool little shout out to that one. And I want to try and represent this layout. Now I only have one photo because I am doing an 8 by 6, so it will be kind of small. And I honestly thought that I had different papers, so I kind of threw this kit together really quickly because I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. But this works. It'll be okay. It really will. So I have these alphas sticking out that I used on a layout a few days ago. It's that black and white one. I think it's called Tuxedos and Tiaras, but I just plan on using the black one. And then I have my one photo of my kids all dressed up, nowhere to go. I also have a bunch of, like this little wood piece is from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. I absolutely love it, and it's so deeply etched, you guys. I just love that. I love the color of it as well. And then I have a bunch of pre-cut pieces. These were actually fussy cut from a 6 by 6 by Altenew. And then all of these other pieces are stamped and dyed or die cuts that I pulled from a pack, or like this piece here is just not supposed to be there. Sorry about that. They must have fell out of the pack. So I've got die cuts and then stamps and dies as well. Various companies like Heidi Swap, Altenew, and Stampin' Up. So there's those. Then I have this one piece of paper. It's Hello Beautiful #1 by P13. And it's this gorgeous houndstooth green on one side, and then this stripe with this rose flower that's kind of on the, I don't know, it's not red, it's not pink, it's not purple, it's its own color. And so that's where I thought that these other colors kind of matched with it. But I honestly don't have roses and stuff like that. This is grungy for me, but it's too, a rose is too pretty, you know, if I have to say so myself. So I have those ready for me. And then I picked out this packet right here, which I think that they're all going to be too big. But I pulled them out because the colors kind of match. Like I said, it's not pink, it's not orange, it's just its own color. And so I pulled them out before I pulled out all of these, so I'm not sure which ones I will be using as of yet. But this is going to go by pretty super quick. You know, it's just a photo, kind of a border strip, and then a whole bunch of hexagons, which I haven't pulled out my hexagons yet, but I will go and do hexagons. So anyways, I'm going to go and get started, and I'll see what I can do. All right, let's get going. So the first thing that I ended up doing was cutting out that upper left corner from this striped paper. And then I intend to use both sides of that striped paper. Then I took a 12 by 12 and cut out my 8 by 6, as well as I plan on using that 4 by 6 to mount my photo. Now here I have 3 different sizes of hexagons. Don't ask me why there's a number 9 or 6 attached to the back of this. I have no idea. But I'm taking the smallest one and cutting it out first, and then taking the next size, which is like the medium, and cutting it out so I have a cute little frame. And then I'm taking the largest one to have another sized frame. And I did that several times, so that way I have a few frames to play with. All right. And then close to my hearts, cardstock is always double-sided, so I'm going to flip it over so the dark side is on my kids' layout. And then I wasn't sure if I'm going to cut this out or not, but because I wasn't sure, I'm going to go ahead and trim around it just to make sure that I don't accidentally cut into it when I flip the paper over to get the houndstooth print that I am wanting to use on my layout. So I just trimmed it out. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I just wanted to make sure that I was not going to like cut into it on accident, because I forget. Yes, I do. All right. So I've already trimmed my photo. I mean, it's the most boring thing to watch ever. And I'm just making sure that I remembered how much I trimmed around it. And I wanted this photo mat to be about 1/8 of an inch wider. I didn't want, a big, huge, bold photo mat. I never really do. I just like it to be able to stand off the page a little bit, but I also enjoy a photo mat to stiffen up my photos. I know that seems kind of weird, but I just like a good thick photo, if that makes any sense. So I'm really digging the double to triple photo mats lately, but I'm happy with just one. On this layout, I do happen to like double mat it. And so the first mat is only 1/8 of an inch, which is a 1/16 of an inch on both sides of my photo. So not even noticeable, right? And then the next one is actually going to be 1/4 of an inch. So this will be like 4 3/8 or something silly like that. I'm not really sure exactly, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough stripes to go a full 8 inches because I wanted the stripes to go horizontal across my page. I needed to make sure that I had those 8 inches to go across. So I am just gutting out the portion of this cardstock that I need for my photos, and then I will cut up the entire length to make sure that I have my 8 by whatever piece for my layout. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of weird, especially when I'm cutting out from the center of a layout, or from the center of a pattern paper rather than a layout. So, and then I'm going to quickly cut off 1/4 of an inch, so that way I have like a seam, like a seam filler, because of the fact that the flowers don't really go all the way across the edge. I wanted to cover up that seam, so I just cut off 1/4 of an inch, and now I'll use it for the houndstooth. All right, so I'm gonna finish putting my photo mat together, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna scuff up the edges, but because I cut it upside down, I already had like that little lip on it from the blade of the trimmer, so I was okay with that. And these flowers were almost like they were meant to be for this photo. They hung down just perfect above my two sons' heads. And I mean, it was just absolutely like, oh, look at how perfect that was. Yay, I'm so happy. Not planned at all. Clearly, this paper was printed way after this photo was taken. So can't say that I tried. All right, so I am going to stick my head in the frame because that's what you guys all want to see, is the back of my head. I am so sorry. But I was just basically trying to get my flower piece lined up at the top, because it is the edge of the paper, and so I didn't want it to look like, where's the rest of the flower? So I know it's just the little things, you guys, just a tiny little detail that I pay attention to sometimes, and other times it's like, nah, I'm good. So because my piece wasn't exactly 8 inches, I decided to cut off the corners, and it gives you that illusion that it was 8 inches at one point in time. But unless you're staring at it like super uber close, you'll never know that it's a 1/13 or 32nds of an inch off of 8 inches. Like, seriously, don't look at it. And all I'm doing is covering up that seam because, one, the stripes did not match. They didn't flow all the way across the page like I thought they were going to. So the first few stripes up at the top lined up perfectly, but as I put the strip down, it didn't match up anymore. And so this was a perfect cover up, so that way I don't have to worry about messing up, or having that eyesore be like, whoa, your stripes don't match. What's up with that? It's okay. I fixed it. I just put a little line there. Now I am messing around with these little like hexagon loopy, I don't know, are they frames? because I kind of made them into frames. Anyways, I'm just tucking them under my photo, and basically what it is that little bit of adhesive that I put on the back of the photo mat. That's what's holding it in place. Nothing special. That's it. And I'm kind of sort of copying where Sandy had hers, even though I won't have as much embellishments. Now, I picked out all of these embellishments thinking that I was going to like do this grand old, put this here, put that there. Well, when I started looking at it, they were all too big, to be honest. I just, you know, when you think about planning a page, 8x6 is pretty big. And then you start adding everything to it, especially an almost 4x6 photo. Well, now you don't really have a whole lot of anything. So I pretty much borrowed, you know, or scrap lifted her side edge where she had a flower along the side and then a strip of paper and then a little embellishment like a clock and leaves and things like that. So that I copied, and then I copied where she had her little hexagons. But after that, I felt like I couldn't anymore because everything was so big. And I do have to tell you guys that this is only 2 times the speed. This video, when I usually sped it up the normal speed that I go for my videos, it went by so fast. I was like, I breathed and it was over. So I couldn't even do a voiceover, just to let you guys know that was very interesting. You know, little tidbit here and there. So I thought that I was going to bring in a couple feathers. I really wanted that black and white kind of look with a little hop of color, but the feathers kind of looked weird. They didn't go where I was expecting them to. And then all of these little tiny word fill-in thingies didn't work either. For one, some of them were vellum, and so they just kind of got lost. You couldn't read them anymore. And for two, there just wasn't any spot to put them. And then I also pulled out this little scallop bit that was just a shelf of some sort to put something on, but again, didn't work. And so I thought that I was going to fill in a little bit more and have this flower, and then I still have that hexagon, and I still have the leaf. And I was like, maybe? I don't know. I still don't know if I like it or not. But I'm going to take part of this wreath that I'd already cut up part of, and I'm going to chop it off. And at first I thought I was going to use this little green floral piece that I am cutting out, and it's got like, I don't know, are those like bleeding heart flowers? I'm not sure. But yeah, it wasn't going to work where I wanted to, but but the one I'm tucking in now, actually the tulip-ish flower looked like the flowers that are in this P13. And so I thought, oh, well, that works. So I tucked it behind my photo and called it good. Not going to do much there. And then I decided I didn't want the feather. If I can't have 2 or 3, then I don't want any at all. And then the other flower was just too big, and half of it was going to be covered up. And then I was covering up all that fussy cutting flowers that I put next to my photo. So I was like, no, I'm okay with just this. And so I'm gluing down together the little together hexagon, and it's going to hold down my my hexagon that's like on top of everything. I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. And then I just realized that it doesn't need anything else. I'm good to go. I'm going to trim off these overhanging hexagons, which I could have used in another spot if I was thinking, but I usually don't. And I'm going to call it good. I say that this is it, and I am done. Be sure to check out everyone else that is down below. I have the links for everyone that is playing along with the May I Scraplift You series, as well as all the links for the Stretch the Sketch series. Sandy, thank you very much for letting me scraplift you today, and I will check y'all tomorrow. Bye!